Hi everybody, I'm Jesus Garcia and I'm here at the Mission Garden to tell you a little bit about one thing that is happening right now in the summertime here. We have prickly pear available to eat in two different forms, Nopalitos or the prickly pear pads, but also the fruit. And right now, as you can see behind me here, we have a couple of varieties of prickly pear, and also we're going to talk about the differences and how important it is to tell the difference when it comes to eating them. So let me tell you first, the number one that you see all around in the mountains here is this variety. It's called the Engelmann's prickly pear. This is a wild prickly pear. Don't even bother with it, okay? We're gonna move into something else that is the one that is domesticated. This is a prickly pear variety that you can find all around Tucson, particularly in people's backyards, especially the old part of town. You find this variety, and this is what is called the Indian fig cactus, or also known as Nopal de Castilla, which is a spineless prickly pear that is very common. But also, don't bother with this. You want to bother with this. Basically, this is the babies of this prickly pear. You see, that's the reason they're called Nopalitos, because they're young and tender. Look at the color. This is an old pad from last year, from the spineless one. This is a new pad from this year. This is what you want to do. And this is what often people refer to as Nopalitos, because they're small, young, and tender. And this is what you eat. You could potentially eat this, but it's not as good. More work, more slimy, more fibers. And you could potentially eat the wild one. You're not gonna die, but it's way so much work and they don't taste as good. That's the reason I say don't bother with them. So how do you do this? So essentially you just have to go the slow food way. You just use a sharp knife and cut every single one of these glocked areas here with the leaflets of the new pad until you remove every single one of them. Many people want to go the lazy way that I call, just using a torch or something like that. Don't bother with that, because you burn the whole thing. You just really have to go the slow way. Once you do that, you end up with something like this. Here we have a clean, fresh nopalito that is ready to use in any type of dish that you want. So the way you get them, you cut them in half, put them on top of each other like this, and then you start cutting little slivers like this, and you can just throw them in a pan with oil and use them for scrambled eggs, pastas, chile colorado, or simply eat them fresh.